Mayor Herman Mashaba's resignation on Monday has left political parties scrambling. It gives them an opportunity to take over the important metro. Now, the ANC is set to meet to discuss their way forward. It's already hinted it is willing to work with other parties. Now, to discuss this, we're joined in studio by ANC Johannesburg leader, that's Jeffrey Makubo. Mr. Makubo, thank you very much for making the time to talk to us here.
Morning, Tony.
A question to you. Are you willing to talk to other parties, and are you willing to talk to the EFF specifically about whether or not you can go into a coalition with them?
Well, since our times when we mooted a motion of no confidence against the Mayor Mashaba, we have been in constant negotiations and contact with other parties, so we are still talking to other parties in council.
Specifically the EFF. Are you talking to the EFF? If so, what are going to be the conditions that they put forward versus your conditions?
We have not had a formal contact with the EFF. We have not started negotiations with the EFF yet.
Your meeting that you plan to go into, what specifics are you going to be talking to about the situation that is prevailing in Johannesburg now?
Well, the focus has to be on the people and what's best for the city of Johannesburg. We believe that the reasons we had for the motion of no confidence against Herman Mashaba are still valid. So the declining service levels, the rebuilding of the city reserves, the stabilizing of the finances will be what we're putting on the table with the parties that we speak to.
Mr. Makubo, the ANC was in power for a very long time in Johannesburg. The question is, if given a chance, what would the ANC do differently, given the kind of mess that Herman Mashaba has been speaking about?
Well, I mean, we think that his rhetoric and his PR is masking the real situation. We were on a transformation agenda throughout our tenure in the city. You can see the transformation of Soweto, the building of new settlements, the upgrade of social infrastructure, backlog infrastructure and all that. So we have to continue on the trajectory that's still on the GDS, the growth and development strategy that we had adopted. Herman Mashaba has not even produced any new GDS. He's latched on the GDS that we adopted in 2012. And it's something that will continue on that trajectory of building a new compact city that is for everyone to live, play, and work in.
Mr. Makubo, I want to specifically direct this question to you. Let's leave aside what Herman Mashaba has been saying. Given a chance to lead Johannesburg, the metro, what would the ANC do differently?
All I'm saying to you is that there's infrastructure that we have to roll out as the ANC, and we had a plan. We had a 10-year infrastructure plan that we need to continue implementing. There are daily issues that we have to respond to, the daily experiences of a citizen of Johannesburg that we have to respond to at the ANC, you know, the normal grass cutting, closing of potholes, resurfacing of roads, working traffic lights, and just to make sure that an everyday experience of a citizen of Johannesburg is positive. That's really what we'll be focusing on.
How would you win back the trust of Johannesburg residents?
By working hard. We've been hard at work since 2016, engaging with our residents, engaging with our voters to find out what went wrong. They told us. We spoke to them before May elections, and we continue to engage with the residents of Johannesburg and correcting, of course, what they were unhappy with in 2016.
What do you think they were unhappy with in 2016?
It's quite clear that there were some local issues that they were unhappy with. There were some national issues that were unhappy with. And I think both national, provincial and local ANCs addressing those issues that the residents were unhappy with.
The issue of corruption has been paramount. And Herman Mashaba has made no bones about that. In fact, he says there's a mountain of corruption that the NPA is seized with at the moment, just stemming out of Johannesburg. Why should the ANC be trusted by residents of the city?
Well, I suppose the ANC has made, since its Nasrec conference, corruption an enemy of the people. It has been and fighting corruption very hard. You can see with the Zondo Commission, with all other commissions that the President has set up, that the ANC is serious about fighting corruption. But as it relates to Johannesburg, the figures that are being bandied around, we've been asking questions in Council, we've been asking questions in the Municipal Public Accounts Committee, in the Oversight Committee of Governance, on can you give us proof on the 34 billion that you relate to? I can tell you clearly for 2 years now, we've been asked the Auditor General to say, is there any substance in what is being raised here? We just think it's a smokescreen. The reports we get, they contradict each other. They don't give us any substance of what the 34 billion is made up of. So we don't believe that the numbers he's bending around are actually true. In fact, the report we have now in MPEC, as soon as it's processed through Council, we'll release to the public for the public to see that there's nothing that Herman Mashaba has been raising that's correct.
Jeffrey Makubo, thank you very much for making the time.